Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. So this video is on ReactJS authentication using JWT access token and refresh token, and this is the first video of this series. JWT token made up of three important parts like header, payload, signature. Header contains information like type of token and the algorithm used. Okay. Payload contains user claims like phone number, roles, all those claims can be encrypted into the token. Okay. And signature means to secure the token. Okay. Generally, JW token is a secure token. Okay. So once signed in, signature will be available. So that information available in the signature part. Okay. So this is the JWT token, and simply we can call JWT token as a authenticated user secret key. Okay, using that key, if the request comes at the server, if that secret key is valid, then API or server application thinks that this user is authenticated. Okay, now let's jump into create the React.js application. So command for creating the React application is npx space and template name, that is create hyphen react hyphen app. Okay, that represent react.js template name and name of your project. So let's run the command. Project created successfully. Let's open the project. Okay, now this is our project, right? Let's install the React Bootstrap. So go to React Bootstrap website, click on get started. And first, let's install the React Bootstrap as well as Bootstrap libraries in our project. Okay, copy that command, open the terminal. Okay, install the Bootstrap. So Bootstrap successfully installed. Now let's add the CSS reference of Bootstrap into the index.js file. Okay, so go to index.js file. So here I can remove few unwanted things for my demo like report web vitals and remove this method as well and remove the strict mode. Okay, so these are the things I want to remove, and now let's add the bootstrap css reference. Bootstrap list css bootstrap min.css. Now let me create a react component like layout. So in that layout I will have a common UI logic like menu. Okay, so for that, let me create a folder inside of the SRC like components, and one more folder inside of it like shared, and inside of it, let me create a React component like layout.js. Okay, so here is our layout. Now I want to add Bootstrap menu here. For that, go to Bootstrap website and go for component section. Okay, and here go for navbar. Okay, from here copy any one example. Let me copy this and add inside of this imaginary tags. I want to full navbar menu to my application, so remove the containers. Okay, for now I don't need any navbar item. Okay, name it like auth demo. Okay, navbar brand, and here I have to add the navbar component naming references. Okay, now here I want to add a bootstrap container and name is automatically imported. Inside of the bootstrap container, I want to display my pages content. Okay, my application pages content. So to render the application pages content, I can destructure the props like children, and I can pass the children here in the expression. Okay, now pages, whatever page will render, right, that content will be rendered inside of it. Okay. Now let's render this layout. So we know in React, app component is our entry React component. So here let me remove all the existing HTML. Let me add imaginary tags. Inside of that imaginary tag, let me render my layout. Okay. Layout name also imported. Okay. Pages content. Okay. Now let's run and check our output. So open one more terminal and run our React application by entering command npm start. We can see our Bootstrap menu added and page content also displaying. Let's create a page component like home. So this page can be accessed by authenticated users as well as non-authenticated user, like a guest page. Anyone can access our home page. Okay. So create a new folder inside of the src. Okay. Folder like pages, and let me add the React component like home.js. Okay, here is our home component. Now the thing is, this is just like a welcome page, right? Home page. So I will add just small welcome message here. Okay, let me add the div, and inside of the div content, I want to display it at the center. So let me add the styling. Okay, so class name, Bootstrap class name like dflex. Okay, justify content center. Okay, and I want to align all the items inside of this center. Okay, and I want to give some width and heights. For that I can use style tag. Okay, a min height 500 pixel and min width some 500 pixel. Okay, and inside of it I want to display some welcome message. For that, let me add the uh, card component from the Bootstrap. So go to cards. Okay, copy this card, add it here. Let me remove this card size. I don't want this card image. Okay, use card title and name it like welcome a demo on ReactJS JWT authentication. Okay, and remove the button and import the namespace, cards namespace. Okay, so this is my home component and I have to configure the route for it. So for that, let's install the React router DOM. Okay, okay, and click on npm link. So copy the command, open terminal, install the React router DOM. So our package installed successfully. First thing is in the index.js, we have to wrap our app component using browser component. Okay, browser router component. So browser router component that loads from the React router component. Okay, and next, to enable routing for our application, I can do it at app.js. Okay, so based on routing, my component should be rendered, right? So inside of layout, I can configure the routing. So can use routes that loads from the React route. Inside of routes, we can give child route that specifies each individual component rendering route. Okay, so here it will have attribute like path. So specify like slash, that means home path. So for home path, we want to render home component, right? For that, I can use elements, and inside of the element, we have to specify the component name. Okay. So that is my home page routing. Now let's test it. See, you can see this is our home page and this is our welcome message. Okay. Now let's create another component like login component. Okay. So another page component where we have login form. Okay. So here in the pages, create login component. Okay. Now in this login component, let's try to add the form. Okay, login form. So first let me add a container, bootstrap container. I want some margin top 2, and inside of it let me create a row, bootstrap row column. Okay, and inside of it let me create call component. Okay, and let's add some bootstrap stylings like call md8, 8 parts of the 12 column. I want to display my form, and on each side 2 column space I need. For that, offset md2. Okay. Now inside of this column, let's define the form. Let's add a first legend for heading. Okay. So login form, and I can use form tag, and inside of it I want to add the form elements. Okay. So for that, go to our React Bootstrap website and click on forms. Here from the sample example, just copy the form group, one form group, add it here, and import the form group namespace. Okay, form group namespace. And I don't want this, some text is there, right? I don't want it. Okay, duplicate this form group. Okay, this is for username, first form field. Okay, username text, and it type will be password, second one, and change the name like password, controller name, label, password, and I can remove the placeholders. Okay, I can remove the placeholders. Now let's add a button here. So let's go to Bootstrap. Here button, I can copy this button, add it inside of the button. For this form, I won't use submit, I will use like button type. Okay, so that I can use the click event. And since we used button, right, let's import the button namespace. So add the button namespace here, and let me use useref state hook, okay, for reading the form variables. Okay, use state variables. Okay, useref for username, and for password also create another useref variable. Okay, and we have to map them to our form fields. So here controller, you can use ref attribute. Okay, and pass our useref variable names here. So password same way, ref. Okay, and pass our password. Now let me create a empty method for my form submit event. Okay, So name it like login, submit. I want to make it a async function. Okay. For now, this will be an empty function, and let's register this with my on click event. Okay. On click. Okay, that is my simple form. Now let's register the login route, sorry, login component route in our app component. So create one more route and path like login, okay, and element our login component element, okay. We have configured the login route also. Now let's add login menu item in the layout component. So go to layout.js. So here to add menu items, let me go here. Go to our components in React Bootstrap website. So in the components, go for navbar again. So in the navbar, let me copy this navbar toggle and navbar collapse. Okay. So add them here. Okay. So inside of this navbar, I can give navbar links. So first copy nav item. Okay, nav component. So we have to import the nav component namespace as well. Okay, import the namespace. Inside of it, I can add the navbar. Okay, and in the href, you can specify like login and login. Okay, now let's check the output. Here, small correction, it is not userref, useref. Okay, now let's check the output. Okay, here you can see my login link. If I click, my component is loading. One thing you can observe, on clicking the login, my page is reloading. That should not be reload, right? Because our React application should be a single page application. So for that, go to layouts. I cannot use href directly. Instead of that, I can use React router DOM configuration like as. There is a property on nav link you can use as and pass the link. Okay. So the link usually loads from the React Bootstrap. So from React router DOM, sorry, not Bootstrap, router DOM, and get the link property. Okay. And instead of href, I can use to. Okay. Same way, let me add the home page route for this brand. Okay. So remove href here, copy this nav link inside of this auth demo, and a link to home page. Okay, now let's check we are able to navigate to our components without page loading. Okay, if I click on login, nothing is happening because I am already in login page. Okay, now if I click on auth demo, see I navigated to my home page, but no page reload. If I click on login, no page reload. Okay, now that is good. Now I want to display this login button on right hand side corner. For that I can use Bootstrap class name margin starts auto. Okay, so that it gives left hand side spacing. Okay, now you can see my login button on right hand side corner. Okay, now to implement the JWT token, we have to call a API, right? Some server side application. So that application based on our username and password, it will return the access token and refresh token. So for that, I have already built a server application like Nest.js application, which is a Node framework internally. Okay, it is Nest.js application. Okay, this is my GitHub link for my repository Nest.js auth authentication application. Okay, how to install it, how to run it, what are the endpoints available, all the things I have explained in the documentation. Okay, so here is my Nest.js application. Okay, so all the instructions available in the GitHub link, how to run, what are the endpoints, okay, what are the payloads, everything. But only thing we have to do is in this Nest.js application, go to main.ts file. So by default, this Nest.js application also runs under port number 3000. Okay. So, but our React application also runs under port number 3000. And in a system, no two applications cannot run under same port, right? So before running this server application, Nest.js application, please change it to some other port, any port of your choice. Okay. After changing that port number, you can run the application. For running the application, I have given the command here. Okay. So copy this command and inside of it, run it. Okay. Now I want to show you directly how we can get the access token using the Postman. Later, we can implement the logic for authentication in our React application. Okay. Okay. Here, my Nest.js application is successfully running. Okay. Now let's check the token from the Postman. For that, open Postman. Okay. So then go to our GitHub, copy the login API link. Okay. Paste it over here and it should be a post request. You can select from the drop down and go for body and select the JSON application slash JSON payload. Okay, and here the testing credentials. You have to use this only. Test and password is 1234. So copy this payload. Okay, and go to Postman, paste it over here. Okay, now if I click submitting this post request, okay, I have running port number 4000, right? So please make sure to give your port number that is running in your local machine. Okay, now submit again. See, encrypted tokens you can see one is access token and one is refresh token. So access token is for to check the whether the user is authenticated or not. Okay, this contains I have initially mentioned, right? It is made up of header, payload, and signature. Okay, and refresh token is some random key. So using this key, whenever access token expire, we can fetch the new access token. Okay. So next we are going to consume this API in our React.js application. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this video delivered some useful information to you all. Please support me by subscribing to my channel as well as liking the video. Soon we are going to meet with new videos. Until then, signing off.